Hello there, YouTube. So today I'm gonna show you how do we create a simple HTTP server in Rust using a crate called Actix-web. Alright, so let's start with creating a new project. I will name it Actix-server. Alright, so and I'm using nvim as my code editor. Alright, so few things to note over here. Whatever dependencies we need, we'll add them in cargo.toml file and that too with the command line. Alright. Now to create a server, we need a create Actix-web. Alright, so we'll use a command cargo add Actix-web. So it will take time. Some alright, and it's done. Now you can see Actix-web has been added on my dependencies. Now let's quickly build this project. Now building the project take times first time. So we'll give it a time right now. It will build all the dependencies that has been added and their sub dependencies inside them. So it will take some time. In the meanwhile, I will tell you Rust. Uh, so for like watching this tutorial, you need to have some basic understanding of Rust and some working understanding of HTTP servers, either in Node.js or in anything. All right. So you should have a basic understanding of web servers, and you should know about async and await keywords. How does that work? And if you are aware of like Node.js promises, JavaScript promises, then it will be all good. So the concept is same. All right. So let's wait till it builds. And so it's first time I'm making a YouTube video, and I don't have any mic right now, so I'm using my desktop's audio. So please bear that. And subscribe, guys. Keep supporting. And I fortunately like able to achieve 32 subscribers or 31 subscribers, and that too is very much like overwhelming for me. So going good till far. Mhm. All right, let's wait. So if you guys need anything like on any new topic, then please let me know down in the comments. I'll try to make those videos, and soon I will be out with this Rust series, maybe few topics like 10 to 15 minutes. So let's see where it goes. And it's 11:30 p.m. All right. Also, let me know at what time you are watching and from which part of India or like outside India. All right. So we have built the project. This is the time it should take at max at first time. All right. Now, few things after installing this and to create a simple HTTP server. It's not that hard. It's really simple. So now to create a Actix server. Now for any server to run, we have to write like few things that are asynchronous in nature, right? So to achieve this, we always use async await keyword that you all know. Now for this server to run in an asynchronous environment, this create Actix-web, it provide a procedural macro that is called like Actix-web and main, right? So let me just add that Actix-web main. All right. Now this procedural macro will make sure that the function written inside it will run in an asynchronous environment. All right. And we will make a function our main function asynchronous because we're gonna use something inside that maybe in future or somewhere that is like asynchronous in nature. Like this server uses await keyword to run. So that is why we need to make this function async. And for this function to run in an asynchronous environment, we will use a procedural macro provided by Actix-web create. All right. This is the procedural macro, as you can see, this Actix-web main. Okay, now this main function will return an IO result. Okay, because this will hold the errors, whatever errors we get. All right. So we need to return this IO result now. To create an HTTP server, we will use HTTP server method from the Actix-web. Okay, so we will import this. All right, it's simple with the new keyword, as you all know, and we'll create a closure over here, and inside that we'll create an app also with the new keyword, as you know. Now service. Now this service takes a hell lot of things, right? But like we will first create an only use a get function inside it. Okay, so let me just write a get function over here, and we'll do this later. Now this service here is itself like a big topic, because it it takes like middlewares, and we will configure routes over here. And middlewares, as you know, are very important, because you can run, like, you can create a logger middleware and auth middleware. So for now we will just create a simple HTTP server. We'll not go in details about this. Hopefully in future, when we start building project, we'll do this. All right. So now let me just create an instance of it at server equal to this. All right. Now what I'm gonna do, I will bind this with a port and a URL, a host, right? So for localhost, I'll use this, and I will use a port 3000. Okay. Now few things to understand over here. All these things that I'm doing can be refigured, can be done more professionally. Though it is, I'm creating very simple server, so that's why I'm using hard-coded values. That should not be done, strictly prohibited, right? You need to create an environment variable file where you will keep all these variables. Okay, so this is just for like a simple web server. Okay, so now that we have created our instance, let me just format it pretty, pretty code, right? So now that we have like created and install, we will write, like, create a log that, hey, your server is running. All right, we have created log. Now what we're gonna do is server dot run dot wait. You see, we are using await here, right? So that's why we have made our function asynchronous. All right. Now HTTP server is like should work, and but we need to create this function over here, a get function, so that we will query this from our postman, so that we can know that we are all going good, right? So for that, we'll use this get macro, procedural macro, and derive a path over here, like route over here, asynchronous function, right? And what we have created over here, get fn. Okay, now this will return a result that implements responder trait. Anything that implements responder trait. Now responder is a trait in Actix-web that has like HTTP responses and HTTP requests and all. Okay, so now this HTTP response implements the responder trait, so we will return this. So this line IMPL responder. So this line IMPL responder, it simply means return anything. Return something from this function that implements this responder trait. All right. So HTTP response over here, it does implement responder trait, so we can return this. Now this response has multiple methods. Like currently we have OK, but we can have like internal server error, like whatever suits the purpose. All right. For now, we are being optimistic and return this. Now we'll return write this response body. All right. We will not use semicolon over here, as you know why. If you are like aware of Rust syntax, so it simply replaces the return keyword. That if we implement this, then we have to write return. If we don't write this semicolon, we don't have to write responder like return keywords. All right. Now this responder is something what that Actix-web has, so we need to import that as well. All right. Nothing is red. Everything seems perfect. Let's build this. Also, guys, do check out my shorts and other videos. So hopefully they are informative. They will be informative for you. And it's 11:30 p.m. All right, everything is working. So cargo run, and there you have it. HTTP server is running. Now, how do we test this? Open Postman, a GET request we have to make, localhost port 3000. All right, and we gonna hit send. Hey, we got hola amigo. Get working. All right. So this was the gist, like how HTTP server works and how do we create a simple HTTP server. All right. Uh, Let me just go it through again. So to create an HTTP web server, we have to use some crates, right? Some use Tokyo, so some use other crates, some use Rocket, some use Shuttle, but we will use Actix-web. And whenever we use anything, so we need to add a dependency in cargo.toml file. All right. So here we have cargo.toml file, and whatever dependency we add, it goes inside this dependency tag. All right. So in main, this is the code for creating an HTTP server. These are the procedural macro that these are the procedural macro that are required in this scenario. And so what it does, this Actix-web main, it will make sure that that main function written inside it will run in an asynchronous environment. And this main function, we have to make this async because we need to return an await instance of this server, and we need to perform some operation that are asynchronous in nature. So in order to like achieve that, we need to make this function async. All right. And yeah, this line this line creates an HTTP server. This HTTP server we have imported from Actix-web. All right. A new keyword that is very like everyone knows what new does. It creates a new instance of this HTTP server, right? This is a closure syntax in Rust, and we need to create an app. So if you are aware of an Express library in Node.js, so you can relate it somewhere like so. That's why I have written it like app is there, so you can relate like we also create an app over on the Express, right? Create new, create a service. This service usually accepts middleware, routes, and all. But for now, we have provided this function, this asynchronous function that has a get nature, right? And now, after everything is done, we need to bind a server with a host and a port, right? So this line serves this purpose, this bind function, all right? And just added a log over here that server is running, and after adding the log, we will run this server.run.await. Okay, and this is the get function that we have provided inside this service, and it returns a response that implements responder. So it should return, right? So that's why we have put like a return type over here, and HTTP serves response from Actix web crate. does implement this trait, this responder trait. And we will be optimistic right now. So we have written this okay and the body of this response. And it's done. So a video to create a simple HTTP server for the beginners basically. And yeah, that's it. And thank you for watching this video. Keep keep subscribing this channel, share it to your with your friends, and pardon my audio, my language, and see the content. Thank you very much. Good night, guys. Happy coding.